Welcome back to the Gentleman Ultras YouTube channel. This is another paper review with me, Richard Hall, and looking back on the midweek games, which have been quite something else. We've seen some really interesting results go the way that some we've expected, some we haven't. First and foremost, I think perhaps it's worth looking at Gazzetta dello Sport and their focus on Inter. Of course, Inter winning 1-0 against Lazio last night, with Danilo D'Ambrosio getting the single goal to hold off Lazio. A great performance in some respects, in the sense that they had to hold on. Handanovic with 3 or 4 incredible saves, and have really given Inter a chance now to, well, at least pretend to be title challengers for a while. 5 wins out of 5, and the last 2 games against Milan and against Lazio showing that they have got some intent, and that it wasn't just the likes of Lecce and Udinese who they can put away. So, Corriere dello Sport also going with that, quoting Saint D'Ambrosio, the fullback from under Antonio Conte, has done well this season. His 10th goal for Inter overall, but also showing that those wing-back positions are key. Baragi's debut also impressing here in Corriere, but you've got to again look and say it's Handanovic who gets all the plaudits. So, after Inter, what of Napoli? Well, we've just talked about Batmanovic, as the Inter fans call him. Well, it was here in the Corriere dello Sport that Napoli are told it was a dark night. They fell against Cagliari in a really unexpected result. The Neapolitans were pretty tepid in their display in comparison to how they have been, and they have dropped points, which allows the likes of Juventus, who had won the day before against Brescia, excuse me, thanks to Pjanic, to really look as though they're going to lock horns with Inter. And I've asked a few people questioning the Neapolitans, can they keep pace? It's early days, and I'm sure that Carlo Ancelotti will be able to pull that back, even though he said himself, the table doesn't look good, but I'm not worried. Koulibaly saw red in that game, and Mertens also hit the woodwork, but still no points for them. So, what else do we have in last night's results? Well, one of the most interesting ones again was the Giallorossi. They were beaten 2-0 by Atalanta. The Bergamo boys, according to this, on absolute fire. Fonseca saying it's a fair defeat, and now it looks strange whether Roma can really put together, well, in the Corriere dello Sport, should we say, they say it's strange on how Fonseca's side can look so good and lose, and at some other times look so poor and win. It's quite an interesting one in Corriere as well here. It just says it's an absolute wake-up call for the Giallorossi. Atalanta at the end of the day more clinical. Something that was a real point there. Roma did create a lot of chances. They actually did play quite well in certain spells of that game, but still lost. Finally, the papers are looking forward to this evening's game with Torino versus Milan. Interestingly here, it's saying that this is a competition between Donnarumma and Sirigu. That's in Gazzetta, by the way, to say whoever can perform best here could get the #1 spot for the Azzurri. Interesting take on that. So, we will see what the results are from them. We'll catch up with the papers again tomorrow.